Have you ever felt the sting of being undervalued or unappreciated by those around you? In a world where we often seek validation from others, it can be deeply disheartening when our efforts, kindness, or presence are taken for granted. Yet, within the wisdom of Buddhism lies a path that guides us toward inner strength, self-worth, and peace. Rather than seeking revenge or harboring resentment, we can embody principles that not only help us rise above feelings of being undervalued, but also subtly encourage others to recognize and regret their actions. These 9 powerful Buddhist-inspired ways can help you turn the tables, not through force, but by becoming a person whose value speaks so profoundly that it cannot be ignored. Ready to discover how to reclaim your power and make them regret not valuing you? 1. Practice self-compassion. Practicing self-compassion is the foundation of self-worth and inner peace. It involves treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that you would extend to a close friend. Often, we seek validation and appreciation from others, believing that their recognition is necessary for us to feel valued. However, this external dependency can be a source of great suffering when people fail to recognize our worth. Buddhism teaches that the root of this suffering is attachment to the opinions of others, and a lack of compassion toward oneself. Self-compassion is about recognizing that you are worthy and valuable, regardless of how others perceive you. It involves being gentle with yourself when things don't go as planned or when you feel rejected or undervalued. Rather than harshly criticizing yourself or feeling inadequate, self-compassion encourages you to speak to yourself with words of encouragement and care. This shift in mindset helps to build resilience and emotional strength, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with grace and poise. The practice of self-compassion also involves self-awareness and mindfulness. By being mindful of your thoughts and emotions, you can recognize when you are being self-critical and replace those thoughts with more supportive and affirming ones. This doesn't mean ignoring your flaws or failures. Rather, it means acknowledging them without judgment and using them as opportunities for growth. Understanding that everyone makes mistakes and that imperfection is a part of the human experience can help you cultivate a more balanced perspective. When you practice self-compassion, you no longer depend on others to make you feel valued or worthy. You create a solid foundation of self-love and inner peace that is not easily shaken by the opinions or actions of others. This inner strength becomes a powerful reminder to those around you of what it truly means to value oneself. 2. Let go of attachment. Letting go of attachment is a central teaching in Buddhism that focuses on the idea that clinging to people, outcomes, or material things can lead to suffering. Attachment, in this context, refers to the emotional bonds we form with the things and people around us, often expecting them to fulfill our desires or validate our self-worth. When others do not value us, it is easy to feel hurt, rejected, or inadequate. However, by learning to let go of attachment, we can free ourselves from these painful emotions and find a deeper sense of peace and contentment within. Attachment often leads to unrealistic expectations. We may expect others to always appreciate us, be kind, or respond to us in ways that affirm our worth. However, people are unpredictable, and their actions can be influenced by many factors that have nothing to do with our value as individuals. By holding on to these expectations, we set ourselves up for disappointment. When we release attachment to these expectations, we are no longer at the mercy of others' behavior or opinions. We begin to see that our worth is inherent and not dependent on how others treat us. Letting go of attachment involves recognizing that nothing is permanent. People and situations are ever-changing, and the only thing we have control over is our own mindset and reactions. This understanding allows us to be less affected by the ups and downs of life. Instead of being consumed by the need to be valued by others, we can focus on cultivating inner peace, contentment, and self-awareness. When we let go of attachment, we also embrace acceptance, accepting people as they are and situations as they unfold. This shift in perspective allows us to approach life with a sense of openness and equanimity. It helps us maintain emotional balance, even when we are not valued as we think we should be. By doing so, we create a space where others may naturally begin to recognize and reflect on the unique presence and qualities we bring into their lives. 3. Embrace mindfulness. Embracing mindfulness is about cultivating a state of awareness where you are fully present in the moment, without judgment or distraction. Mindfulness, a core concept in Buddhism, involves being conscious of your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings, and responding to them in a balanced way rather than reacting impulsively. When you feel undervalued by others, it is easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking, resentment, or self-doubt. Mindfulness helps break this cycle by grounding you in the present moment and enabling you to see situations more clearly and objectively. Mindfulness encourages you to observe your thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. When you notice feelings of being unappreciated arising, mindfulness allows you to acknowledge these emotions without letting them dictate your actions or sense of self-worth. You learn to recognize that these feelings are transient and do not define who you are. This practice provides you with the emotional space to choose how you want to respond, rather than reacting out of hurt or frustration. By being mindful, you can also become more aware of your inner dialogue and how it impacts your perception of yourself and others. Instead of internalizing negative feedback or seeking validation from external sources, mindfulness helps you focus on your own values, strengths, and qualities. This awareness fosters self-compassion and self-acceptance, reducing the need for external approval. Furthermore, mindfulness enhances your relationships by promoting empathy and understanding. When you are mindful, you are better equipped to listen deeply and communicate clearly, which can shift the dynamic in your interactions with others. They may begin to notice and appreciate the calm and clarity you bring into conversations and situations. Ultimately, embracing mindfulness allows you to remain centered and balanced, regardless of how others perceive or value you. It empowers you to live authentically and confidently in your truth, demonstrating your self-worth through your actions and presence, rather than seeking it from others. 4. Cultivate inner peace. Cultivating inner peace is about finding a sense of calm, balance, and harmony within yourself that is not easily disturbed by external circumstances or the opinions of others. In Buddhism, inner peace is achieved through practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection, which help individuals develop a stable and resilient mind. When you cultivate inner peace, you no longer rely on others to validate your worth or make you feel valued. Instead, you draw strength and contentment from within. Inner peace begins with understanding that true happiness comes from within and is not dependent on external factors such as relationships, achievements, or material possessions. When you feel undervalued or unappreciated by others, it can be tempting to react emotionally or seek their approval to feel better. However, this approach often leads to more suffering and disappointment. By focusing on inner peace, you shift your attention away from seeking validation from others and toward nurturing your own well-being. One of the ways to cultivate inner peace is through meditation and mindfulness practices. These practices help you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions and learn to observe them without getting caught up in them. Instead of reacting impulsively to feelings of rejection or inadequacy, you can remain calm and centered. This inner stability allows you to respond to situations thoughtfully and with compassion, rather than from a place of hurt or insecurity. Additionally, cultivating inner peace involves letting go of resentment, anger, and grudges. Holding on to negative emotions only disrupts your peace of mind and keeps you trapped in a cycle of suffering. By practicing forgiveness and letting go, you free yourself from these burdens and create space for more positive experiences and emotions. When you embody inner peace, others may notice the calm and balanced energy you bring to every situation. This can inspire them to reflect on their own behavior and realize the value of your presence. Moreover, Inner peace empowers you to remain grounded and confident, regardless of how others perceive or treat you, demonstrating a powerful form of self-respect and strength. 5. Lead by example. Leading by example means embodying the qualities and values you wish to see in others through your own actions and behavior. In Buddhism, this is often referred to as walking the path, demonstrating wisdom, compassion, patience, and kindness in your daily interactions. When others fail to value you, it can be tempting to react negatively or demand respect. However, by consistently modeling positive behavior, you not only uphold your own standards, but also subtly encourage others to reflect on their actions and attitudes. Leading by example starts with self-awareness and integrity. It means being true to your principles regardless of how others behave. If someone disrespects or undervalues you, instead of mirroring their behavior, you choose to respond with dignity and kindness. This approach not only preserves your peace of mind, but also shows others that you operate from a place of strength, self-respect, and confidence. Over time, people may come to realize the value of your positive energy and the integrity you bring to your relationships. Moreover, when you lead by example, you set a standard for how you expect to be treated. It's about embodying the change you want to see. If you consistently practice empathy, honesty, and understanding, you encourage those around you to do the same. Even if they don't immediately recognize your worth, your consistent, exemplary behavior may eventually inspire them to reassess their own attitudes and conduct. By demonstrating qualities like compassion and wisdom, you also help foster a more positive environment for everyone. Your actions can inspire and motivate others to rise to a higher standard. Rather than getting caught up in conflicts or negativity, you create an atmosphere of respect and harmony, which may prompt others to value you more deeply. Ultimately, leading by example is a powerful way to show others what it means to live with integrity and purpose. Even if they don't immediately recognize your value, your unwavering commitment to your values speaks louder than any words could. Over time, this approach can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections with those who truly appreciate your presence and contributions. 6. Establish boundaries. Establishing boundaries is a vital practice for protecting your energy and maintaining self-respect, especially when you feel undervalued or unappreciated. In Buddhism, boundaries are not about shutting people out or being defensive. Rather, they are about creating a balanced and healthy space for yourself and others. By setting clear boundaries, you define what is acceptable behavior and what isn't, signaling to others how you expect to be treated. Boundaries are a form of self-care. They help you maintain your emotional, mental, and sometimes even physical well-being by preventing others from taking advantage of your kindness or overstepping your personal limits. When you establish boundaries, you communicate your needs and limits clearly and assertively, without aggression. This might involve saying no to requests that drain your energy, limiting time with people who bring negativity, or directly addressing behaviors that make you feel undervalued. Creating boundaries does not mean you are shutting yourself off from others. It means you are protecting your own peace and ensuring that relationships remain respectful and mutually beneficial. When you set these boundaries, you are showing yourself and others that you respect your own needs and well-being. This can often lead people to reevaluate how they interact with you. When someone knows you won't tolerate being undervalued or mistreated, they are more likely to treat you with the respect and consideration you deserve. Moreover, boundaries help prevent resentment from building up. Without boundaries, people may unknowingly cross lines, leading to frustration and anger. By being clear from the beginning about what you will and will not accept, you avoid misunderstandings and create a foundation for healthier, more respectful interactions. In the long run, establishing boundaries can make others realize they cannot take you for granted. They may come to understand that your time, energy, and presence are valuable. And if they want to be a part of your life, they must show appreciation and respect. This shift in dynamics not only fosters more meaningful relationships, but also reinforces your self-worth and personal empowerment. 7. Focus on self-growth. Focusing on self-growth is a powerful way to reinforce your worth and make others recognize what they may be missing when they do not value you. In Buddhism, the path to enlightenment is fundamentally about personal development and self-awareness. By prioritizing your own growth, whether it's emotional, intellectual, or spiritual, you not only elevate yourself but also indirectly influence those around you to see your evolving value. Self-growth involves continuous learning, self-reflection, and improvement. It means taking time to understand your strengths and weaknesses and actively working to become a better version of yourself. This could be through reading, taking up new skills, practicing meditation, or engaging in activities that expand your mind and nourish your spirit. When you are committed to growing, you radiate confidence and a positive energy that others can't help but notice. Investing in your self-growth also shifts the focus from seeking external validation to building inner strength and resilience. Instead of waiting for others to value you, you begin to value yourself by recognizing your own potential and worth. This internal shift often has a profound effect on how others perceive you. As you become more confident and self-assured, people around you may start to reflect on their behavior and realize that they have underestimated or undervalued you. Moreover, focusing on self-growth empowers you to handle situations of undervaluation more gracefully. Rather than being reactive or feeling hurt, you can view such situations as opportunities to learn and grow. This approach not only helps you maintain your peace of mind, but also demonstrates to others that your self-worth is not dependent on their opinions or actions. As you grow and evolve, people who once took you for granted may start to see the positive changes in you. Your improved skills, knowledge, emotional intelligence, and overall demeanor. They might come to realize that they have missed out on the value you bring, prompting them to change their attitudes and behavior towards you. In essence, by focusing on your self-growth, you indirectly teach others how to value and respect you. 8. Practice detachment from ego. Practicing detachment from the ego is a transformative way to maintain your inner peace and self-worth, especially when others do not seem to value you. In Buddhism, the ego is often viewed as a false sense of self that is heavily attached to labels, roles, and external validation. The ego craves recognition, approval, and superiority, and when these desires are unmet, it leads to suffering. By detaching from the ego, you let go of the need for external validation and instead find contentment within yourself. Detachment from the ego means understanding that your true self is not defined by how others perceive you or the roles you play in their lives. It involves recognizing the transient nature of opinions, status, and material achievements. When you detach from the ego, you're no longer driven by the desire to be constantly acknowledged or praised by others. Instead, you focus on being authentic, compassionate, and true to your values, regardless of how others react or perceive you. This practice allows you to respond to undervaluation with equanimity and clarity. Rather than reacting defensively or feeling diminished when others don't appreciate you, you see their behavior as a reflection of their state of mind, not yours. You understand that how others treat you often has more to do with them than with you. This perspective frees you from the emotional turmoil that comes with seeking approval or getting caught up in how others perceive you. By detaching from the ego, you cultivate a sense of self that is grounded in inner peace and self-awareness. You become less affected by external praise or criticism because you know your worth is inherent and not defined by others. This balanced approach not only empowers you but can also lead others to recognize the calm and strength you carry. They may begin to value your presence and perspective more when they see you are not swayed by ego-driven reactions. In essence, practicing detachment from the ego fosters an inner strength that speaks volumes. It shows that your sense of self is stable and not easily shaken by the world around you. This groundedness can often prompt others to reflect on their own actions and, perhaps, realize the true value you bring to their lives. 9. Walk away with grace. Walking away with grace is a powerful way to show that you value yourself enough not to stay where you are not valued. This principle, rooted in Buddhism and other philosophies of self-respect, involves recognizing when a relationship, situation, or environment no longer serves your well-being and having the courage to leave it behind without bitterness or drama. When others do not value you, gracefully walking away can be a profound statement of your self-worth and boundaries. To walk away with grace means to do so with dignity and without harboring resentment. It is not about storming off in anger or making a scene. Rather, it's about quietly and confidently choosing peace over conflict. This action demonstrates that you are not dependent on others' opinions or validation to feel complete. By leaving a situation where you are undervalued, you reclaim your power and show that your happiness is not negotiable. When you walk away gracefully, you are also giving others a chance to reflect on their behavior. The absence of your presence can often speak louder than words. People who took you for granted may start to notice the gap you left behind, whether it's your kindness, support, or positive energy. This realization can sometimes lead them to regret their actions and see the value of what they lost. Moreover, walking away with grace creates space for better opportunities and healthier relationships to enter your life. It allows you to focus on environments and people who genuinely appreciate and respect you. This move is not about holding on to negative emotions or proving a point. It's about prioritizing your own well-being and surrounding yourself with positivity and respect. In essence, walking away with grace is an act of self-love. It shows that you understand your worth and refuse to settle for anything less than you deserve. By doing so, you set a powerful example of how to live authentically and honorably, prompting others to reflect on their behavior and possibly realize the depth of what they've lost by not valuing you. Imagine a life where your peace and self-worth are no longer in the hands of others. How liberating would it feel to be so centered, so self-assured, that the opinions and actions of others do not sway your inner calm? By embracing these 9 Buddhist-inspired principles, self-compassion, detachment, mindfulness, inner peace, leading by example, setting boundaries, focusing on self-growth, detaching from ego, and walking away with grace, you cultivate a presence that is impossible to overlook.